Well, hello there YouTubers, and welcome to my factory models. Finally managing to do a tiny bit of work on the Airfix 172nd starter kit, the MESSERSCHMITT, the Bf109E-3, just as a little companion to the Spitfire, or just as a standalone model anyway. But yeah, haven't done anything for months. Modeling's not been the priority at the moment with all the economic chaos going on. Simply have had no time to do any at all, really. So when I make a video, I'll make a video. I have no idea what the scheduling's going to be there. But so yeah, not a lot's been done. I mean, I've basically assembled most of the body of the MESSERSCHMITT now. Any problems? Not really. The kit locks together, you know, almost perfectly. Even better than the Spitfire did, really. I mean, they're pretty tandem in the areas of quality. You know, comparing the Spitfire and this one, quality-wise, they're fairly identical. Maybe this MESSERSCHMITT probably just has the edge. I say that because the wings themselves just locked into place. It was such a tight fit. I could have got away with not even using any glue. So it's all pretty straightforward. Anything else has been my errors. Been a couple of very tiny gaps to fill. Tiny gap there. The small gap on the engine, which I've got to sort out. And also underneath there was a kind of sprue hole from one of the sprue gates just behind the propeller there, which I've got to sort that out. It's had a little bit of filler. Apart from that, the only other problems I encountered were because the sprue gates are so solid, the parts are so well encased in there for protection, that what you've got to watch when you're taking the really small parts off, such as the machine guns and these small wing parts here. There's actually three. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got to be really careful when you're cleaning those parts off, because there's sprue residue on there, sprue gate residue, which I've had difficulty getting off. So still a few bumps. I've still got to take a couple more bumps off these guns. You probably can't really see it there, but there's one there. It's a marked little piece of plastic bump there. That's got to come off. So yeah, so if you're making this model or similar models, just be really careful when you're removing those parts from the sprue gates, because they can really easily break. And yeah, so I'm quite possibly YouTube's clumsiest modeler. If you saw what goes on behind the scenes, well, I'll leave that to your imagination. Yeah, so what else? Oh yeah, the other thing is I was a little heavy-handed on rubbing down a bit the seam line, which it's very faint anyway. That won't even need filling. The paint will basically disguise anything that's there. It's not worth fiddling and risking having to stand and rough up the surface on that, because it's barely visible. So I've got a panel line on the top. So 1, 2, 3. There's about 6 or 7 panel lines on there that need redoing since I've rubbed those off. So you've got to watch for that. But that's it. Inside the cockpit, a minimum of detail. I hand painted had to hand paint the very basic cockpit details in there, if you can see. Just hand painted some in. They do have decals, which, like I say, being the clumsiest, I went and screwed those up last night, in fact, trying to fumble around putting it in. But I think that's down to probably not doing any modelling for months and months on end. I don't know. That's my excuse anyway. So yeah, enjoyable little kit though. So this should be finished very shortly, and I can get on with the painting. Hopefully start that tonight or tomorrow. Like I say, it's a bit tricky trying to predict at the moment one thing or another, but the main thing is I've managed to get on with the build and keep one in the pipeline, and there'll be other kits to follow, different subjects. So yeah, I'm going to prime it up. I'm going to use a black primer, black acrylic for this one, and then put a lighter grey over that. I think that's what I'm going to, again, you know, I'm experimenting with different brush techniques on it, but I'm definitely going to stick to the box paint scheme, which is fairly straightforward on the back. There's only basically 4 colours: dark and light greys, your splinter greens, some slate grey for the undercarriage, and your matte blacks. So yeah, I did some cockpit, the pilot seat and everything, basically just some washes in there for that. I really didn't do anything, didn't go to town on that at all, just some nice variations of grey washes. And then you've got your box art. It's quite a nice rendering on there. Paint's really clear on that. Nice tonal variation going on that you can see clearly on that illustration. That's quite nice. Always handy that for your painting. That's going to fall, isn't it? So yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that, folks, and round this video off with that. So the undercarriage is to go on, and then it's on with the painting. Canopy on. Oh yeah, I've also decided to put the pilot in on this one. I don't think I put the pilot in on the Spitfire, but because I didn't do, because the cockpit's pretty basic, you know, it's fairly bare bones, so I will paint the pilot up, the Luftwaffe pilot, and plonk him in. I actually practiced, did a little dry run last night to see how it fitted, because really I guess you're meant to put them in before. Depends on the model really, but it was a lovely tight fit. He fits in really well. Probably won't even need any glue, just locks in there. Obviously I have to be careful, because once the pilot's painted up, I don't want to go and varnished, I don't want to go taking the paint off. So without further ado, I will finish this video now, and see you all on the next video. But thanks for watching. Bye for now.